Yes, we are live.
Hooray.
I'll keep my phone on so that I can check the comments that way because it's always easier, comes through a bit better.
Okay.
Someone's joined, so if you're here, pop a comment in. Could be me. Hi, Suzanne. So, Wendy, welcome to the live chat in the group.
Thank
Lovely
you.
to have
I'm
you.
happy to be here.
So for anyone who doesn't know, Suzanne follows your podcast as
Oh,
well.
hi, Suzanne. I'm glad you're here.
So that's how Suzanne found me, the podcast between us, which was lovely.
Fantastic.
I know. So to anyone who doesn't know Wendy is amazing. Well, you are.
Thank you.
But do you want to introduce yourself, Wendy? Say what you do, say about your podcast, drop it all in.
Sure. It's so interesting. I recently had to write it down because I sometimes say, what do I do? I do a lot. Okay, so here I am. I'm Wendy Harrop. I'm the owner of the Phineas Wright House in Bolton, Massachusetts. I curate opportunities for women to say yes to themselves through workshops and retreats at my historic bed and breakfast, luxury culinary trips to France, and I am the host of the Say Yes to Yourself podcast.
Yeah. And I know a few of you are, right, we've got Oswald on, we've got Stephanie on. Amazing. If I'm looking down, I'm reading comments. Hi, Rhonda, as well. So that sums it up perfectly. But the podcast is your little baby, isn't it? It is amazing.
It is. It's my favorite thing that I do.
Yeah. But you do so many things, and I got the honor to meet you in France last year, which was incredible. But we've been in contact probably since the course that we did in 2020.
Yes, January.
Yeah. And obviously now we work together, the podcast that you shared, which was so lovely. And if anybody hasn't seen that or heard that, that was me and Wendy doing one of our usual coaching sessions. We knew it was recorded, so obviously we were aware of that, but that is what a coaching session normally goes like between us. Yep. So Wendy shared that. Do you want to tell people why you wanted to share that?
So in that course that we met in January of 2020, that was really the first time, even though I had been a solopreneur for decades at that point, that was the first time that I ever really invested in myself and in my business. And so one of the program promises was about, finding out what you're made to do and making money by being you, which was so great. And I didn't realize this at the time, but a lot of what that course incorporated was inner child work and personal development work. And that was all very, very new to me. And so I really became a super fan. I love now finding out if there's something that's going great, then I, keep going and move that way. And I am a woman of faith. And so I say it's God that is directing my path and showing me where to go and all of these good things. And then when something is uncomfortable or unfamiliar, or I'm noticing something in me that is not what I would consider is my highest and best, I want to know more. I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. That's itchy. That's shadowy. I want to get a flashlight in there. I want to expose it and heal from it and move on. And some of those opportunities have been like, ooh, that's interesting. I'm actually don't want to be like that anymore. And then it's kind of an acknowledgement and a shift, and then I don't revisit it. And then there are some opportunities that continue to show up because I have not quite crossed over to the healed side of those situations. And one of them is the opportunities that I have to grow with regard to my neighbor. He is I'm trying to think of the word, like, of the opportunity. He is a growth opportunity for me to trust that I am wise and I am strong. And in the past, I have given my power over to him and allowed him to decide what I get to do with my life and my business and my days. And he's actually, that's not an appropriate role for him. And so I'm taking these opportunities to identify what in me needs to change so that I can complete whatever this is that keeps coming up, that, is now that I've been doing this work a little bit, I know it's not him. It's something in me that needs to be healed, that is being projected or mirrored or whatever it is. But I know that the healing needs to come on my side. And so I had an opportunity to engage with him in a way that didn't make me feel good. And I know that it's work I need to do. And so I invited you to do what you do. And I decided, I asked you if it was okay if we aired it, because I just think, I know it's universal truth that what's most personal is most universal. And even if somebody is not having the exact circumstance that I am, there could be elements of my experience and your wise counsel that could help somebody move through it. And that, to me, is far more important than not wanting somebody to know that I have some shadow side, or that my life isn't perfect. I already know my life's not perfect. I feel like I'm reminding people of that all the time. So there
is no such thing as perfect. And you touched on so many things there that we've just done the 3-day challenge. Well, it ended up being 4 days, but we couldn't dive into everything, obviously, that we go into in our one-on-ones and now Miraculous Success Academy. But you touched on quite a few things there, Wendy. So you touched on, it was something in you that was projecting outside. And that's something we didn't touch on necessarily in this challenge, but that is in Magnificence. And it's definitely going to be in Soul Aligned Business Bootcamp, which is coming out again in September.
Awesome.
So anybody who joins MSA will get access to that for free. But what you touched on was, projection and mirroring things out, which are so key, because what I didn't dive into was the levels of consciousness that we talk about, and we talk about quite a lot. So, you talked about things happening to us, and we touched on that definitely, but you've then went up the levels there of your consciousness to say that, you are a mirror for what is actually happening outside. And I love that, thinking of all the work that we've done along the time and where you were maybe at the start with your neighbor compared to where you are now, that just shows the shift, even in the mindset that, this is something I can fix, rather than how do I kind of get rid of this? Not get rid of, you weren't going to bury him. Like,
I was just, how can I make myself smaller?
Yeah.
Which, that even like, that's that does not taste good in my mouth saying those words. But it really, that was my practice. And that was my conditioned response. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, am I making you uncomfortable? I'll just come over here and, be a good dog, get in my crate, and, you let me know when you want a dog again, and I'll show up wagging my
Yeah.
tail, and, and that's yuck. And
know.
nobody made me do that. It's just what I thought I was supposed to do.
Yeah. And it's just being that good girl and having that good girl ingrained. And we all, whether you're a girl, boy, man, woman, it's that good essence, isn't it? That, is just so ingrained into us from a young age. And it's how we release that. If anybody has any questions for Wendy or anything they want to ask both of us, pop them in the comments. The comments are coming through, hopefully, so we'll be able to see them. But Wendy, we've been working together for a while, and it was the Soul Aligned Business Bootcamp that you first joined, and then now you're a one-on-one client and going to be in MSA with the lovely Stacey, who's joined up too.
Oh,
so
hooray!
Let's congratulate Stacey.
Yay, Stace. Welcome.
So, I know. So what attracted you? What was the shift? Because we knew each other for years before.
We did. And in fact, it was, I'd been listening to the podcast. I have, knew things you were doing because we also have friends in common. And it really was an email that you sent about this new idea that you had that came to you right after you returned home from Paris. And so I knew that you came to Paris to meet our mutual friend, KB, and me. And so I thought, oh, I wonder what that is, because I have a little bit to do with that, because I made that trip. So I was really curious. And then, it's just what, like they say, right? When the student is ready, the teacher appears. And I didn't even really know what it was going to be, but I have a business. So Soul Aligned Business Bootcamp sounded like something that would be in service to me. And aligned was my word for last year also.
Right.
So I was very mindful of every time that word came up, and I have a soul, and that's important to me. So I was really eager to take that on. And from the very first practice, you had us, we did a visualization, a guided visualization, and you asked us to, like, we had some deliverables from it, and then you had us write it down. And I still have it here on my sticky note. And then you had a required action, and that changed everything, because a lot of what you were saying are things that I've heard and have resonate with me, but you required us to come up with, what is your quantum action going to be? And just the certainty that came in with that. And like, I up-leveled every single week in that course. So then, of course, I had to work with you, because I wasn't available to not experience that continuously.
Yeah. And that's exactly what MSA is going to be about. That, not just, and I think that's why it's so different, because the courses and the training that I do often, it's, you take in the knowledge and it's down to you whether you apply it. I can only give you so much. But what we have is having that chance to voice note each other and keep each other accountable, and, give you them pep talks when you need to. That is the difference, isn't it, between just doing a course where you maybe see me once a week to literally getting that experience of, Wendy, I know that you might be saying this, but I'm feeling this, like what's going on.
Yes,
which is very
exactly.
different, isn't it?
Well, right. And it comes from familiarity. So I believe in all of these courses, whether they're only videos or they're only live once a week or they're, live every day for 7, you get the experience that you desire.
Yeah.
And I I want to grow. I want to be my highest and best. I am not available for my own nonsense. I'm in a practice right now, like I have a deliverable from another coach.
Yeah.
Because I'm not fooling myself that I can do this by myself. So every aligned person that comes into my ecosystem, I believe, is for a reason. So anyway, I have this deliverable, and I've had this deliverable from lots of people, lots of other times, but she's a little scarier apparently than my bookkeeper and my lawyer and all these things. So she gave me a deadline of this afternoon, and this was on Thursday or Friday. And she calls me out. She's like, do not be in avoidance about this. And you know how, and you say this about, we need to love all the parts of ourselves, and, what part of you is showing up. And I feel like I am having an out of body experiencing, witnessing this person that is in such avoidance about this deliverable. If my spices were not already alphabetized, that is what I would be doing right now. Like, I do not want to. I've disinfected my washing machine. I have iron. I love to iron. I've organized things. Like, I have done anything but the deliverable. But I mean, that's not true. Like, until today. And it was just, I sat down to do it. I thought, oh, I'm thirsty. I'm going to go downstairs and get some water. Oh, maybe I'll have tea. Oh, maybe I'll have that loose leaf tea because it takes longer. And I'm like looking at myself. Like, what are you doing?
So, Wendy, have you done it?
I am almost done, but I needed to get on this call. So I will finish it before Amelia comes home from camp. I'm almost done. I probably have like 30 minutes left.
I am going to be Voxering you to check that is done.
I almost Voxered you to tell you, and I felt like that was me just stalling also. Like, let me just tell a lot of people about how I'm stalling right now.
Yeah, but I would have given you the spiritual slap that you needed to get that done.
I do. And because I know it's in love, and I know, this other coach that's asking for this, she's not asking to show me where I'm messing up. She's asking because she's committed to my good and my success.
And one thing I want to add there is you're thinking of the detail of this is an icky thing, but what I want to remind you, and what I want to like bring into you feeling the freedom on the other side.
100%.
And you've got to hold on to that, because that feeling, and where that action is leading you.
Yep.
Come on, Wendy.
It's so good.
Holding on is actually you still giving into that power. Right. So I want you to stand in your power pose.
Yes.
And get that shit done.
Right. Agreed. And, I started doing it, and I'm almost done. Like, okay.
Yeah. Right.
And it will be. And
I won't keep you too long then.
Done. Okay.
It'll be done. Yeah.
Right. So good.
So you said that you were a woman of faith, which I know there's a few people watching me and sitting on the fence because of the beautiful cards that I read, let me say.
Right.
But, things like that can and as well, you know, manifesting with the moon and all of these different energetic practices, which are more linked to nature rather than, you know, things that we've been taught from the church, for instance. How have you kind of broached that, and to give anybody some peace in, you know, the way that I work?
Right. No, that's a great question, and I appreciate it. What's been a long held truth for me is that God speaks through all sorts of different ways, through circumstances, through the Bible, through nature, through people, through whatever else, prayer, meditation, all of these things. And so, although I grew up with the thought or the belief that tarot cards or readings or anything like that was just the devil's handiwork, I believe that that was a person's interpretation of what, like, it was well-meaning, but I personally have received validation. I have received confirmation of things that I already know to be true about God and about what's available for me and about how he created me and about the purpose that he has laid in my heart to do in service of him inside of me. And so all of that, and really standing in my truth and really identifying, what does my relationship to God look like, feel like, how does it manifest itself in my life?
Yeah.
And when I came up with the definition of that and reiterated that to myself, nothing that you read or share, wherever you get it, like, it's just the Holy Spirit is just communicating with himself.
Yeah.
And it's just a different way. And I know that I will not miss out on anything that's meant for me. And if it's going to be on a billboard, if it's going to be in a tarot card, if it's going to be in a Bible verse, if it's going to be in a book I'm reading, I'm available for it. And I'm discerning. I'm a smart woman, and I know when something feels aligned and I know when it doesn't. And
Yeah.
so that has what's been able to allow me to receive even more than what's meant for me, of what's meant for me. Rather than just waiting for some guy's interpretation of a Bible verse because he's the pastor of the church. Like, it's actually too much pressure to put only what he says as the truth.
Yeah.
When I know that God is as much in me as he is in that guy.
Yeah.
I'm pointing because my church is over there.
But that's so nice, because I know some people worry about that. And obviously I always say I work with guides, angels, and 100% pure light beings. So I'm not knowledgeable enough to know who or what that is. I channel the information. I trust what comes out. So, you know, that's come from time of me trusting, but I just say I'm the bridge, I'm the channel. And I do 100% believe that I am only the vessel, the bridge that, you know, gets that message to whoever needs it. So, and that's in the programs and the coaching and all of that. You know, I feel that is all just a part of that energy. But to anybody who is thinking of joining MSA, what would your advice be, or any thoughts of how you know, I've said how I make decisions on things, and I'm going to go into that more clearly tomorrow in the clarity call. But, you know, how do you go about thinking of joining, or what advice would you give?
I think that if you are interested, then you should do it. it's because it's something in you is resonating. It's if it makes your heart swell, if you have been on all these calls, if you did the whole challenge and then you showed up for day 4 and then you're here again today, like all of those are the signs. And there is no one course or one coach that is the answer to everything. I did not know that the first time I signed up. Like I really thought, oh, this lady, she's going to tell me what I'm missing, everything that I'm missing. She has something that I don't have about what I'm supposed to do with my life. And what this work has shown me is that I'm the one. I'm giving myself permission. I'm the person. So when I feel a connection, when there's an alignment with something that has made itself available to me, then I know that it is the next step. And none of these things are a destination. It's just taking us to the next step and opening us up for what our soul is ready to go to that next level, to that next up level. And again, if you're here and you're watching this, then it's because Rachel is your person. You totally know when someone is not your person. So you use that same intuition. And if you don't feel like that about this course, then sign up. That's it. And then show up and do the work, because it's only as effective as you're available for.
And we've talked a lot in the challenge, and I talk a lot about this with you as well, Wendy. You know, for anybody who's coming into a program who thinks this is the thing to fix me, or this is the thing, you know, that is gonna, the only thing that can work for me, I would say then, you know, park it, because that's not what we're here for. It's talking power to power. Everybody, there might be at different stages, there might be, you know, in a different place to where I am currently, but their power is different to mine anyway. So it has to be that energetic of, this person gets me, that soul resonates for some reason, there is something calling me, and then it's an energetic decision. Because this is, you know, anybody who knows me, I am all about the energetics, and you can't make a logical decision about joining a transformation program. And that's why, you know, people get stuck, because logically you don't know what the end output is going to be, because it will be different for every single person who signs up. You know, there is going to be an element of growth, like you say, from putting in the work and, you know, showing up and hearing the information. But it's going to be so different for everybody. So it's got to be that energetic pull, hasn't it? To like go, I am in. And I'd love to say there's a logical way of explaining it, but logic doesn't come in.
The only thing that logic has done for me has kept me from my own truth for decades. That's what logic did for me.
And we go into, so I did touch on, I didn't go into the archetypes because we just covered that much, but the archetypes are covering Accelerate. So that is part of one of the programs that you get, and you know all about that. We've just done it in Magnificence as well. But the archetypes, the biggest one who creates the most hard work for us and literally gets in our way, but is the sneakiest one, is our logician mindset, the one who needs to know the how and the plan and all that stuff. And that is actually our ego coming out. So when we're craving the how and the detail, and what am I going to get for my money, and what's that value, and what's this and what's that and what's the other, that's our logician mindset holding us in that smaller place. And that's one of your main ones, isn't it, that comes out a lot?
Yes, and it is.
We've even discovered that it's not even yours.
Right.
Someone else's voice.
Good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we learn these things, and the stick and the do hold us back. And I'm going to talk about how the how keeps us small. So I'm going to talk about that on Wednesday's podcast. So tune into that if anybody wants to know. So Wendy, I don't want to keep you longer because I know you've got a job to do.
I do.
But we did say it's a new moon today. So this new moon is in Cancer. So you might have been feeling, emotional. You might have been feeling things coming up. So this is actually quite apt that you've had this energy coming up today. But this new moon is setting the path for the next 18 months. So it's all about connecting with what you are really here to do as a soul in this life. And it is about setting up that journey and making that life come into fruition. So I always plan my launches around the moon cycles. And I didn't actually know what this new moon was about when I did. I just knew that the challenge would be on the full moon, where we're going to release the energy. And then we would be starting and setting up on the week of the new moon. So it's landed perfectly. But thinking of the next 18 months, Wendy, and setting an intention on the moon, what are you looking to feel like in the next 18 months? And anybody else pop in the comments?
It's a great question. I know what I'm writing a new narrative, one that is in service to me and where I want to go, not where I've been.
Wow. So that's your intention.
I am showing up fully expressed without fear of other people's opinion or what their comfort level is with how I live my life.
Oh, do you know what? That's blown my mind, because as I asked that question, I literally felt like I'd been pulled back and white angel wings come out of the back of my head, like I was being released. And am I going to find the card? You know, the judgment card in the deck?
I don't.
Let me see if I can find it. But it was literally like the image of that. And then you've just mentioned like judgment. And I'm like, oh, yes. Love it. So when that happens. I'm not going to find this card, but you get what I mean. I will post a picture.
We only talk about what we want to happen.
There. So, but it was angel wings literally coming out and up. So, but yeah, the judgment card, freeing yourself. Free from judgment. And that sense of freedom just washed right over me. So for my intention, I am going all in and freeing anything that is holding me down. So we talked about in the challenge about how we have, it's as if you're a hot water, but not a hot air balloon, and you've got the basket and there's weights hanging off the basket. So as you rise up, you've got to rise till you know, so that you know which weight is actually pulling you down. You can't see which weight is pulling you down whilst it's sat on the floor. So to anybody who's still sat on the floor waiting for anything to happen, it's never going to happen until you start to rise and follow that path. And I think that's the key thing, isn't it? You know, you don't know what you need to clear until you start moving forward.
Right, because then it shows up.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Yeah. As you felt today.
Yep. All weekend.
Yeah. But new moon energy, it's shifting.
That's right. That's good. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I keep getting, and if anybody hasn't heard the cards for today that was on the podcast, the Queen of Materials is the card that has come out 2 days running. So this new moon is all about stepping into this new financial beginning, and we are turning a corner. So please know that anything you do around this time is about setting you up for that future. So trust what you're called to. And you made a very valid point before. There is not one coach or one thing that is going to change the whole trajectory for you. There's going to be all contributing factors and contributing people. So make sure that, you know, you are surrounding yourself with the best And that's what Miraculous Success Academy it's about. It's about everybody being on that journey of epic success.
Yes.
Any last comments, Wendy, before I let you go?
No, thank you so much for this time. I talk to you all day long, every day. So this has been great. And I'm really looking forward to see who is joining the fun. I'll be there too. So I'm really excited.
I know. So we've got 2 days left. It closes on the 19th. So it'll close that eve, like by midnight type of thing, once I get it down. But yeah, you've got till Wednesday to join. So any questions, I'm doing the clarity call tomorrow. I will throw in some cards to give you some extra clarity as well. But if anybody has anything left unanswered, just reach out. And Wendy is always, you know, just comment away, pop a comment in.
Right. If somebody wants to ask me a question that they don't want you to see, what is she really like? I'll tell them.
Is she a dragon?
The same as this, right? If you think I'm going to give you an answer that's different than what I just said, it will not be different than what I just said. But I'm absolutely available for any questions that anybody, if it would be in service, I'm here for it.
Oh, thank you, Wendy. That's so nice.
My pleasure.
And you get to spend time with Wendy in the calls. So, you know, come on.
And I get to spend time with you, whoever you are.
The lucky people.
Yes.
So thank you, Wendy. You've been absolutely amazing. And to everybody, sorry if I missed comments. I will go back and look over them. And if anybody has been on the fence, hopefully this has helped, you know, answer any questions. And if not, I will be live in here tomorrow to do the same. So I'll let you go, Wendy. And thank you all.
Thank you, Queen.
You're welcome. Speak to you all soon. Bye.
Bye.